Every journey has a beginning, ṣùgbọ́n ìrìn àjò kan wà tí kìí ṣe ìrìn àjò lásán. Today, I am not just traveling. Mo ń bọ̀ sí ibi tí ìtàn mí, Badagry, Lagos, Nigeria. Badagry jẹ́ ìlú tí ó dákẹ́, kìí ṣe pé kò ní ohun tí yóò sọ, ṣùgbọ́n torí pé ìtàn rẹ̀ ti pọ̀ jù. This land witnessed pain, resistance and survival. Èyí ni ilé gíga àkọ́kọ́ ní Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n kọ́ ní ọdún 1845. Dictionary is low, ṣùgbọ́n ìtàn inú ògiri rẹ̀ kún fún ìrora. Books were introduced, but chains were already here. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a wo gbogbo inú ilé náà pẹ̀lú àyíká rẹ̀.
This is an African printed wood. I was used for the deck, the door, and the windows of the house. And this is the iron for rooted wood. That was used for the roofing of the house. So all these materials are currently 183 years, while the building is 180 years. So this is how the building looked like in 1843. The name And at 1842, there used to be a lot of structures in this compound because when the missionary first arrived, they did not just use this all of a sudden. They created some structures in this compound, like the schoolmaster's house, the boarding house, the church, the kitchen, the mission house, the carpentry, the workshop, the interpreter's road, the clinic, and other structures like that. But all the structures collapsed in 1842, including the mission house that we are in today. But this was reconstructed with bond brick, and those ones were first erected with wood. So they collapsed, and this was reconstructed with bond brick, while the school and the church was also moved out of the compound because of space, and they were reconstructed with bond brick again. Where the school is now St. Thomas Primary School in Nigeria, which is still in Badagry, but now government school, and the church is St. Thomas Anglican Church in Badagry. So let's move to the next one. Okay. Careful, mind your steps. Okay. Step is already there. Wow. So this is Bishop Samuel Ajayi Bible School, right? Where we have been here. Henry Townsend from the Anglican Church of England. He was the one that first preached Christmas service under the Agia tree. Reverend Charles Andrew Goldman, who was the first passage of this building because he was the one in charge of the construction of the house. Then we have Reverend Thomas Freeman from the Methodist Church of England. He was the one that brought Christianity, that first sowed the seed of Christianity in Nigeria and then in this history. So Claudius Phillips was the first teacher in Nigeria. He was the teacher from 1845 to 1868. He taught 40 men on 2 subjects for 12 years. He taught them on English language and Christian religious knowledge. So let's move forward. So this is Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowther's room. Ajayi Crowther was the first African bishop in Nigeria. He was from the Oyo Empire. He was born and brought up in the Oyo State. He died on the 31st of December 1891. He was slave returning. So this used to be his room. This was where he completed the translation of the English Bible to Yoruba. So this is the first printed Yoruba Bible. It is 180 years. And this is the first English Bible in Nigeria. 182 years. So he attended Furabi College in Sierra Leone. And the school was established in February 1827.
How many years?
182 years. So this That's just like that. So this is the last room where
This chair is 1878.
yes, ma'am. So that's the last surviving furniture of this house. It's 146 years. So you know I said there used to be a church in this compound. So that was the structure of the church in 1843 before it collapsed. So this is how the church looked like. But when the church collapsed, they carved out a space for it in the compound. That's still representing the church, where it's now only ground where people do come and pray. So that was the first way building, about 1845 when it was first completed. And these walls we are standing on are 183 years. The last one, the early missionary cemetery, which was the first cemetery in Badagry, where they buried some of the missionaries that died here in Badagry. And Goma, the builder, his wife died here in Badagry. She was buried. So we have here the safe.
What is that?
The safe.
Oh,
We have in the first currency in African cowrie, before they make use of this manila. So this was the first currency and this was the second currency. So this is the safe. Okay, let's go.
let's start with the okay. Sorry, let's start with the
So that was where the church was.
Oh, there one wrong.
Yes, the church used to be there. My the kitchen used to be there. And this is
Another class. Hey, oh, teacher, that's what you say.
Jẹ́ kí a tẹ̀síwájú. Let's go to a museum where some original chains are kept.
So welcome to the museum.
Yes.
And this is where we have the original chains and shackles used during the period of slavery. These chains are over 500 years. The slave lasted in Badagry for about 350 to 400 years. This man right here, his father was a middleman between the whites and the blacks. So every time the whites came around to buy slave, his father would offer them kola nuts, saying in his local dialect, "Boy, Remy, and Mobije." He says this every time they come around, but because they could not understand his language, they did not know what he was saying. So they started calling him Mr. Moby, Mr. Moby, Mr. Moby, from the word Mobije. Over time, Mopi became the family's surname, and Mopi is now a chieftain society here in Badagry. So back to the man mentioned here, he is the son, but he did not like the trade his father was doing. So he revolted against his father and the Europeans in the year 1852 and officially stopped slavery in Badagry. In that same year was also one of the chiefs that signed to the Treaty of Abolishment of Slavery. After all this, he noticed the Europeans were still around and they were taking slaves illegally out of Africa. So he fought against them back in the year 1888 and successfully stopped slavery in Badagry. So this year are some of the chains he seized, and this year is called the network. Slaves are meant to walk with carriage. Slaves are meant to walk with this. They were meant to walk with this around their neck for 18 hours every day, even while traveling. Put it on your neck, see how long you can carry it. Is it heavy?
Yeah.
How long do you think you can carry it?
I cannot carry this more than 1 hour a day. I can still try.
Okay. So they carry this for 18 hours every day. While traveling about 3 to 4 months, this will be around their necks. This is a torture weapon, and after catching on the waist legs, they force this down to their waist. This most times this may not go in, so they break the bones here. They force it down to this level, make them stand on the platform, then they take this up and screw it. Remove what they are standing on and make the entire weight below on one arm. During that process, slave tend to lose their ability to function in their arms properly. At times, they even lose their lives. This year is called slave branding iron, and this was used to write names of slaves. This year, at that time, slaves do not bear name, only bear the name of their masters. Or any name their masters wish to give to them. So if the master bears Williams, the slaves bear Williams. Now they put this in fire, and when this is very hot, they'll use this to inscribe Williams on the body of the slave. For males on the chest, for females at the back. Then they also use this to perfect the upper and the lower lips of the slave. Then they put this in. This is called the mouth screen. They put this, draw the perfected lips out, then they padlock it like this. That is to ensure that slaves do not communicate between themselves or eat out of the farm products they were supposed to plant. This is called an ankle lock, and this was used for slaves that work in the farm. For them not to run away, they take the leg of Paul, the leg of Peter. They padlock this together and make them work together with this at the same time. This is called the light chain, and this was used for children. For children of the slaves not to walk about, disturb their parents, or step on what their parents has planted. They take this, take about 2-3 children together, they put it around their wrist, they padlock it, and take them far away from where their parents are walking. And this here is called the slave drinking pot. 40 to 50 slaves were meant to drink out of this pot at the same time, with their hands tied to the back. They bend down to drink like animals. While struggling for water first, the sharp end of the pot tends to catch them, and blood, mucus, saliva, dirt gets inside. The next batch of slaves that want to drink, they have no choice but to drink from it like that, because slaves only have access to food and water once a day. And over here are rare military instruments used in Nigerian housewives. They are called agogo. They are used during period of festivities or when they want to reinstall a military. This here is a portrait or an example of a slave begging for forgiveness. We have 2 categories of slaves, the domestic and free ones. This is an example of a domestic slave. He is being castrated so as for him not to have sexual intercourse with his master's wife or his master's offspring. This is the well at the point of no return. It is called the spirit attenuation well. Slaves are meant to drink out of that well, make a particular recitation, then they lose their memory and become less aggressive after making this particular recitation. This here is a picture of a dog catching a runaway slave. As that time, any slaves that run away, the master will release this dog better after them. They are called killer dogs. The dogs have to go after the slave and bring back the throat of the slave. If the dog refuses to return within a stipulated time, the master will release more dogs to go after that slave. This is resistance and punishment. Any slave that refuses to accept the master's religion or belief is being castrated, is being stripped off of his clothes rather, and beaten to death. This is how they march down to the point of no return. On a single fowl, they are barefooted and also unclouded of their clothes. This is the Badagry slave market established in the year 1502. where about 300 slaves were sold every market day. And this here is the point of no return. So thank you very much for coming to the Mobile Museum. Do you have any questions?
No, any questions?
So this is the barrack one where the slaves are kept during the time they are waiting for ship arrivals. Èyí ni wọ́n ń tọ́jú àwọn ẹrú sí ní gbogbo ìgbà tí wọ́n bá ṣì ń dúró de àwọn ọkọ̀ tó fẹ́ wá kó wọn. Níbí ni wọ́n ti máa kó ẹrú 40 sínú yàrá kan tó sì jẹ́ àwọn fèrèsé kéékèèké tẹ́ ń wò yìí kan níbi tí atẹ́gùn lè bá wọn dé.
And the picture of the man here, his real name is Ifara Milepo. How come the Ifara Milepo changed to Cyril Williams Abbas? The first master who used him as a slave is Mr. Abbas. Mr. Abbas is a black man from Ghana. Mr. Abbas used him as a slave and later referred him to a white man called Mr. William. Mr. William is a white man from Brazil. Mr. William taught him 4 different languages. He taught him Portuguese, Spanish, Dutch, and English. And there's a note that says, slave must not go to school. But this man taught him so good and called him when they come, young man, you have been with me so long, let me give you a freedom. But on one condition, you are going to work for me. Then he tell his master that everything he wants from me, I'm going to do it for you because I'm your slave. This is Ifara Milepo. He was being captured as a slave by the first master, Mr. Abbas. Mr. Abbas used him as a slave and later rescued him to a white man, Mr. William. Mr. William taught him 4 different languages. He taught him Portuguese, Spanish, Dutch, and English. And actually, here we have some European products. We have one umbrella for 40 human beings, and a color picker for 10 human beings. The long can go for 100 human beings, the shorter for 40 human beings. Kettle bed and a brass dish. These 3 items as a gift. And the mirror here doesn't have a specific number. It's depending on how people bargain. The ceramic bowl for 10 slaves. Dingon, 40 slaves. Let's go to see what we have inside the museum. Here we are. They call this place an inspection room. We have different chains they put on them. Chain for the babies, mouth cuff, ankle shackle, iron drill, and the axe. Here they make it with an iron branding to perforate the tulip and the padlock the mouth. And here we have some slave torture. We have a slave in deep thought, slave execution for sales, woman slave being hung, slave at the point of no return, dog used to change runaway slaves, and slave carry equipment. I said this is an inspection room. Let's go to see where 40 people are stored for good 3 months. Be careful. Imagine 40 people are here and that's the inflation passing train. We have the brass dish I was talking about outside. And these are the 2 kettles. Here we have the ice maker for 10 slaves. We have the cowries with the ceramic bowl that goes for 10 slaves each. And also here we have the clay pot made from Yoruba land. I know you may know it, they call it amo. Here we have the use lamp and the use lantern, atokma in Yoruba, use headlights, cameras, and the ancient days gramophone. Let's see the sample of the female room. This is the inspection room for the females. Here we have the family tree, we have his handwritings. Yeah, and actually derived by calligraphy. Here we have one of his entrance door to his story video 1942 to 1995. 1847 to 1995. Here we have some slave returning, the man candidate Darusha in Lagos Island. Darusha family in Lagos Island. Darusha is the richest slave returning, and Santos Sebatu is one of the slave returning we have in Nigeria. And 40 females will be stored here. 40 females, and that's the regulation passing train. Here we have the cloth wore regalia, umbrella for 40 human beings, and it is weighing almost 3 kg. We have the cloth and the chains, resting chair, and the chair with the iron corrugated sheet over there. Let's go to see where he was buried. This well was dug in 1847, and this well has never gone dry since then. And here is the court where he passes judgment. Anything concerning the Muslim is being sought out here. I said this is the head of Muslim here in Badagry. At this 13, his last born died in 1987. Cyril Williams Abbas himself was buried inside this big mausoleum. He died June 11, 1919, and he was buried inside this place. And this year makes it 106 years since when he has died. So thank you for coming. My name is Abbas Awal.